The Dode Fox Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Dode Fox Podcast. I'm Paul, he's Ronnie, and with the weather putting paid to Saturday, does that mean we still need to talk about last Wednesday? Like, subscribe and click the notification bell on YouTube. Support the pod at buymeacoffee.com/Dode Fox Podcast. Listen at dodefoxpodcast.com. Follow us on social media at Dode Fox Podcast.
Coming up on this week's episode, the week that was, Hibs review, good, bad and ugly, Aberdeen and Falkirk preview, loan report, Academy lads, women's team, by popular demand, the Tannadice Test, and on this day with the Arab Archive. It's all coming up in episode 322 of the Dode Fox Podcast.
Hi, I'm Callum Butcher, and you're listening to the Dode Fox Podcast.
So welcome back to the award-winning Dode Fox Podcast with getting good use out of the Hobbycraft loyalty cards, Paul McNichol, and a Saturday spent in the range in home bargains, Ronnie Costello. First, Paul, have you calmed down for last week's Tannadice Test hissy fit?
But now that you've said the two words together again, I could feel my heckles rising, Rondo. So we'll see how we get on this week.
I got phone calls from people saying, whoa, is he
I got
alright?
a couple of messages. I got a couple of messages as well. A big bear in my arm. Hey ho, it might happen again, it might not. We'll see.
Shoot you in this week.
Shoot you in every week according to you.
It's easy when you got the answers.
Correct.
How was yet another Saturday without football for you?
It wasn't a surprise, if I'm being honest. I never expected it to be on with the weather being the way it is, although, like, as we're recording this just now, amazingly, it isn't raining in Dundee for the first time in about 8 years, it feels like. So it wasn't a surprise. So I just hunkered down and watched Barcelona on the TV. That was my Saturday afternoon. Went nowhere near your favourite shop. I'm not even going to say. Went nowhere near it, Rhonda.
I was dragged round the range in home bargain, and I'm whispering because again she could hear us. So that was it. And then I was working last night, so because I'm getting of an age, I like a wee disco nap now and again. So I says to Claire, I'm probably going to have an hour or two. Just put Premier Sports on, I'll just see what's on. And I actually thought, well, that's a fair tonk, like fair play, Ken. And as the clock ebbed towards 92 minutes, I thought, Ken, either way, we're going to laugh if they get bit, or Celtic are out. So, Ken, bit of a double-edged sword there. I'll just go to my bed, fair play to them. I mean, I woke up at 9:20 and I may have smiled. I may have even sniggered. I may have laughed. But no at Parkhead, because we wouldn't even be nearly in that position
Scenario.
at 92, 95, 97 minutes. But again, that devastating feeling when that kind of happens. But yeah, so that was, I went to bed, woke up, so it was in of them. That was it. And I went to work, and it was biblical rain in Arbroath last night, I could tell you that much. It was pretty chaotic, but yeah, and here we are.
Here we are, yeah. Yeah, I did watch the Celtic Dundee game as well, actually. I forgot about that until you mentioned it there. Yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of people, like, of the United persuasion giving it, I can't think Dundee were robbed or they were unlucky. I don't think anybody was robbed. Like, unlucky, you can maybe say that because it's the last kick of the match. But Rondo, I can't feel any sympathy because as United fans, we have been in that position. Like, no for a while, granted, but we've been through a Parkhead in games where you're leading going into the 90th minute and you somehow lose. At Tannadice, we've been playing, you could play very well and still lose to late goals. It happens. There's probably a reason that Celtic can do that. Like, they've got the winning mentality. I suppose they do have the better players usually. But it was, as you say, it was kind of win-win because if Celtic go out, great, because there's every chance that we're not going to be able to be the team that puts them out. And if Dundee go out, then that makes people laugh up their sleeve at that. So, yeah, it was quite the ending to that game, I'll say.
Yeah, it wasn't half. But yeah, we were obviously, it was paid to us for a game which we'll get to, but quite a few bits of news. So let's have a wee look at the week that was, and as is customary, the transfer window has to slam shut as it did on Monday, but we did make a signing out the blue. Emmanuel Aguirre, a midfielder, joined on a permanent deal, and obviously knowing your contacts and research, you ken ahin about him.
Ken ahin about him. I ken that his first name's Emmanuel and his last name's Aguirre. That's about it. That's about it, Rondo. Never heard of the boy. In fact, I didn't even ken where he's fae, where his birth country is. I'm not sure. I know that we've signed him for an Israeli team. It's exciting in a way because we didn't know anything about him, and you see these wee snippets. They obviously put together really good bits in videos. They didn't put when he's flying out of the bar and fucking kind of play a 5-yard pass or nothing like that. They put all the best bits together when they release these videos. So I'm looking forward to seeing him. I'm not really sure. Did they say that he's a holding midfielder / defender or something? I think
so.
Like, if we were gonna...
I will jump on the resource of Wikipedia and tell you a couple of things about him. He is a 6'2", 21-year-old defensive midfielder / centre back. That's Wikipedia. That's not the Arab Archive giving me positions there, Paul, just in case you're wanting to lost the tatty at somebody. And he, in August 2024, he actually signed for FC Ashdod in Israel on a 5-year deal. And a year and a half later, he's coming to United. So he's Ghanaian, has played for Ghana's under-20s, and there's not much else to out there about him. But again, like you say, clips are some people could put us in clips together, and we might sound like we ken what we're talking about.
Absolutely not. I don't think I don't think Steven Spielberg could pull that enough, Rondo. Yeah, it's exciting because we don't know anything about him. He's an unknown quantity to almost every fan in Scotland, particularly United fans. So we'll just have to wait and see. Did we need another defensive midfielder? Who knows? I would have preferred somebody that could maybe create a wee bit further forward in midfield, but if that's not what we're doing, if that's not the way that we're playing, then so be it.
Yeah, so he's in. There's no mention of how long the contract is or when he's. I imagine he's in the country now. He certainly wasn't on Monday. I know that much, and I don't think he was even there on Wednesday. But that game we're going to have to speak to about in a second. But yeah, it's another player in competition possibly, and for all the nice guy and all that he is, I just hope he's no Richard O'Dada II.
Correct. Yeah, that is what I'm pinning all my hopes on, that he is not the second coming of Richard O'Dada, because he wasn't exactly a roaring success in his time at Tannadice. So we'll see. Like the recruitment's been a bit hit and miss this season, in fairness. So hopefully we strike lucky with this end.
I think the thing with O'Dada is, I think you could see he's a decent enough football player, but he was too slow for the Scottish game. Ken, hopefully this boy can get on the half turn quickly, whereas Richard took an age. I mean, MD else clears that ball without scuffing the boy's tay that went down for the penalty that night. But Ken, that's what I'd like to see. It
strikes me like the Richard O'Dada signing, I suppose. Like if you speak about that, it strikes me as he probably checks a lot of boxes. Like I dare say his stats were probably good. He was neat and tidy and at the level he was playing at. Like you want a midfielder to be that size, that imposing, but he didn't play that size. Like he played more like he was Willow Flood's size, really. And as you say, he just wanted far too much time on the bar for Scottish football, and you didn't get time on the bar. That's my grievance with Keristes at times. Like he just wants far too much time on the bar, and it's just that's not afforded to you in this country.
No.
So we'll see. We'll see.
Absolutely. Let's talk appeals. Appeals went in for Amar Fatah and Pan Camara from the Hearts game last weekend, and both unsuccessful following fast track tribunal. So they will continue to miss out on Wednesday against Aberdeen. Obviously, they missed out against Hibs in midweek. Would have been available for yesterday had the game went ahead. No shock that they've doubled down, but I've not seen anything come out of Willie Collum yet of how he's going to
You
double down on it.
you probably win a Rondo. You probably win it. They'll just fucking ignore it because it's, in the grand scheme of things, it's no a big deal, is it? It's just United. It doesn't really matter. If it had been a Celtic or a Rangers player, it would have got a lot more publicity. At first, I think you messaged me and said United have appealed it, and I was like, well, that's a waste of time. And then I was thinking about it. I'm like, right, maybe you'll get off with Fataz. I just didn't see any way in which you were going to get away with what Kamara done. And again, I say that as somebody that truly believes that boy Leonard has been grazed on his cheek at best, and his reaction has probably caused the ref to do what he's done. But ultimately, Kamara can't do that. Like you just can't do that. So I never thought he was going to get off with it. And then just before United's appeals result got announced, you heard that St Mirren, they appealed their boy's red card, and you'd mentioned it last week, and I hadn't seen it at the time. I since saw it back, and it's very similar. It's very similar to Fataz. Once that got rejected, you just knew there was, like, the game was up the pollie again. Like, Fatah was never winning that appeal. So yeah, we've probably wasted a couple of grand on the appeals. Absolute madness that's the way that the game's going. I still don't think it's a red card. You could argue Kamara's just been daft for me. But Fataz, honestly, Rondo, I still can't believe that if that's the laws of the game, that's now a red card, they want to fucking change that, because that is not in the spirit of the game. Like, he's went for the bar, as I said, until I was blue in the face last week. It's not even a tackle. He just goes to get the bar. He's half a yard behind, catches the boy rolls about like he's want to get his leg amputated, and it's a straight red. And it's, the ref got it right first time for me. It's a booking, no more than that. That's it. But here we are.
I suppose in one way, or on one hand, we really need to credit the unbelievable recovery for Mark Leonard to be in the starting lineup on Tuesday night. You know, bruise-free, cut-free, centurion, gladiator, hero. You know,
superhuman.
You know, miracle worker.
Yeah,
I don't know what
really
Jamestown Analytics do, but they must say the top of the range physios and Medicare, because unbelievable, really.
Yeah.
But it was, totally ridiculous. Not surprised, like you say, but again, if you're going to appeal one, just throw in a second and see what happens. But
I know, but again, like, it highlights the fact that it's the lack of consistency. You know, when the decision did come out, there was somebody, and I quote tweeted it as well, because somebody posted a small video of Shankland catching a St Mirren player. I don't know if you've seen it, Rondo. It is similar to Fataz, but I would argue slightly worse. And it wasn't even a foul, because the St Mirren player doesn't go rolling about the ground. He just gets up and gets on with it. And it's not even a foul in that game. And it's, as I say, in my opinion, it's slightly worse because Shankland's a wee bit higher and his foot's kind of raised, whereas Fataz is still on the ground and he catches the boy. Yeah, like, I can moan about this all day. Like, it wasn't a red card for me. Unfortunately, the people that make these decisions deem that it was, and we're going to have to do with him for another game.
Same last week. I said last week, I think the St Mirren one's that similar. I don't think it's a red card either. It's late, it's not reckless, it's not high, it's just an unfortunate, a yellow card at most. You know what I mean?
These things happen in football. It's not non-contact. It happens.
Exactly.
No malice, no intent. Happens.
Our podcast pal, Callum Butcher, has officially retired. He has hung up his boots at 34. He was our first guest of this season. We spent a good couple of hours speaking to Callum, you know, for all the way he played the game and with the aggression and everything. Easily one of the sort of nicest guys that we've been. I mean, they've all been really nice, I suppose. It's the hosts most people have got the problem with. But I may be intrigued it took so long, because he obviously had mentioned he was doing other stuff out with it, but he might still be a baller. I don't know.
Is that, so I was going to ask, does that mean he's completely retired for everything? But no, if he's still in the Ballers League, then fair dues. Like, it's funny, like, and you'll know where I'm coming from with this. When I think of Callum Butcher, I always think of back in the day podcast pal, the Arab Macam, because he just never took to him. He just never rated him at all. But I think that Butcher, he definitely added to their team. He added an aggression, like an accountability. He would get on you if he felt you weren't pulling your weight. And he was a great believer in the first one's free as well, which me and you absolutely love. That is old school proper football, in our opinion. So it was when I seen it, I thought he'd retired already, but obviously he must have been thinking about it long and hard, and because he mentioned it to us, and as you say, that was the start of the season when we spoke to him. So I thought I'd maybe missed it, but nah, he's away. He goes with best wishes for me and you certainly, and he's had a more than decent career. Played in both 6-2 games, by the way.
Yeah, scored a double. One of them.
Yes, he did. Top man.
If you are new to the podcast or you've missed sort of previous episodes, you can go into dodefoxpodcast.com, go to episodes, you can put a player's name in there and it could come up and see who we've had on. But he initially joined us episode 47 during that awkward season when Ahan got stopped, but we had an episode where him, Mark Connolly, Mark Reynolds and Lawrence Shankland, which is quite an interest. I mean, it was like babysitting, really, is what I'm getting at for that episode, but it was great for them to join with. And episode 298 is when Callum Butcher joined us earlier this season, and it's a really good chat with him. It's relatively long for what I remember. I think the episode alone is a good wee while, but it's all on there. And the Arab Archive, they started this, I think, last season. Any of the players on the Arab Archive that have been on the podcast, there's a link to the episode on the pages on the Arab Archive as well, which is pretty cool. Maybe knows some of the really latest things, but certainly Butcher and that I think are all on there. But that's on. But Callum goes with our best wishes. He's he's good to tell some really good stories, tell some funny bust-up stories, tells a funny story about Mickey Mellon and stuff like that. So he's, it's a really, really goes with our best wishes, and let's say a podcast pal. And Callum Butcher. Our William Hall Premiership fixtures against Dundee and Celtic have been moved for the telly. The Dundee derby will now kick off 2 p.m. Sunday the 15th of March on Premier Sports, and the Celtic game will take place at 12 o'clock on the 22nd of March, live on Sky Sports. I mean, they're planning ahead if they think we'll hear him game playable by the end of March, but two moves for 3 o'clock Saturday, and probably I'm not that surprised that both of them have been moved.
No, still pish, but we just say go on with it. And as you say, like what's the pitch going to be like by then? Will it even had a game played on it by then? We'll see. Yeah, not surprising though that these games have been moved for TV. No.
Paul threw his toys right at the pram. Oh, podcast only happen right after that game. I've got to talk Leo to some strip joint or whatever. Or words to that effect, I think he used. But yeah, it's just it's late player. Immediate reaction podcasts are not good.
No, especially after we've played like two big games. Certainly one of them could go either way. The other end, it feels like it's going to be a bit of a thankless task, but we'll see. We'll see. Never say never, I suppose.
Yeah, so yesterday's match obviously postponed. The rearranged fixture will take place on Tuesday, the 17th of February, which, just looking obviously at the calendar there, where Aberdeen this midweek, maybe, then it's Falkirk away, then it's obviously the Spartans game on the 17th, we're then at home to Kilmarnock on the 21st, and again the question is, the St Mirren game's still not got a date. You know, so I do wonder, obviously, if it's going to be the week of the 23rd, because I've had to reach out to a couple of my fellow announce buddies, because if it's the following week, I'll not be here.
You're good. Can you do it remotely, Rondo? Can you do it remotely?
Well, I mean, you could brace that with Claire next time you see her and see if that's an option. But so I don't know when that'll be. But again, that's another game, and again, it's going twice a week for a whole month. Imagine what the pitch will look like by the end of that. Given this range of stopping again this week. Apart from that, I can't quite see it, but it's a bit brighter in the distance from where I am right now.
It is. It's sunny up where I am just now, which is really, really unusual this year. But yeah, they fixtures being condensed into such a small period of time. It could be a good thing. You could hit form, like you just never know. I'm trying to look on a positive for it. Like I can't say I'm particularly looking forward to any games just now, but like it is correct. It's because the sun's shining, Rondo. Like it's lifted my spirits. But yeah, like there is an opportunity to hit a wee bit of form, and I'm sure players would rather play than train all the time. So yeah, let's keep our fingers crossed.
Not a mad shock, obviously, with the weather, but Aberdeen have had a couple of games off now. So Johnston were off as well yesterday. So Dundee were off during the week as well. So it's, I mean, again, I get now twice for Tannadice, but it just this side of the country has been crazy.
Yeah, it's been hammered. Like two things are true here. The pitch is an absolute abomination just now, and the weather has been absolutely unhelpful. I think we've probably all saw some of the still images for the pitch yesterday, and I thought it was funny. People saying, "What's been driving on the pitch?" And my take for that, I don't think anybody's been driving on the pitch. I'm sure it's one of the machines that kind of slits the pitch a wee bit so that it can maybe drain the water. But like the pitch is gubbed, and with that rainfall, it's just the way it's going to be. Like we're just going to have to make do because you can't repair the pitch halfway through the season, and you certainly can't repair the pitch when the weather's like this. So it's going to be shite until the end of the season, unfortunately. But it's going to be shite for both teams. It's going to be a bit of a leveler. Maybe we should go long ball, Rondo.
And
whatever's effective.
Any keep it out with rain goal. I don't care.
Correct. Just get it away from anywhere near our goal.
Yes.
And then start from there.
Yeah. So Wednesday night was a trip to the capital. You were obviously at the country to watch it, like myself, because you didn't make the trip to the Tannadice souls that did.
Yes.
We took it to a high, and then we pulled the rug out for under, which was devastating. Two teams in the best of form going into the game. Hibs had obviously spent a bit of dosh again. Dylan Levitt left. I'm doing south.
Yes, he did.
Well,
yeah.
Again, a move that didn't work out. Going there, Tuesday United, kept saying that. But it was, again, when you go into a game just on the back of a transfer window and there's a couple of new names in it. And I'm looking at the boy, Paslak, and I'm going, I recognise that name. Boys at Borussia Dortmund a couple of years ago. Fair play to you. So, didn't really know what we're getting for what team you're going to face, but it was going to be interesting what United team were going to turn up on the night. There was obviously enforced changes. Amar Fatah was obviously out, and Pan Kamara was off the bench because he was also for a seat in the stand. But were you, or I take, because you're a frustrated watcher for a holiday home, regardless, aren't you?
Yes, didn't like it. I'm a frustrated watcher at the games this season, Rondo.
There is that, yes.
Yeah, I was not overly confident, but the one thing I'll say is when I looked at the Hibs lineup as well, like they were missing a few big names. Like Mulligan's probably been their best player. McGrath, he'd been an ever-present. He wasn't in the team. Hanley, you could fucking argue the merits of him being in or out the team how you want, but he's like a big name for them. So yeah, like I probably before the game, and I think I said it last week, I would have been happy enough with a point. And sitting here today, I still would have been delighted with that point, but it just never happened.
No, it did not. They were obviously going on in the back of the game. Hibs, Kieran Bowie, as we spoke about, went for Big Dosh. Placed him with a Tottenham low knee, who went right into the starting lineup, and a striker on the bench I'd never heard of. Well, in the 90-odd minute, I fucking knew about him, tell you that much. But, again, 3-0 the last time at Easter Road, which was a chaotic game. And you were at that, weren't you? Was that when we were 3-1 up?
Yes, that was a good game. I enjoyed that. I didn't enjoy the end, but I enjoyed the game.
And then, obviously, was it 1-1 at Tannadice when Boyle scores the...
when he's got like half a Tannadice to just chill out in. Oh, the buzz there, I'll smash it home. There we go.
Yeah. So it was going to be an interesting one. Trapanovsky was in for the start, and he started probably the brightest, actually. He was right at the boy Paslak right away. I mean, he stuck him on his arse pretty early on, and you thought, cross across the goal, and thought, I could talk a bit of this all night if this is the type of thing we were going to play, and it was back and forward for a while, and Big Sam nearly opened the scoring as well.
Yeah. Like we started very well, I thought. Best that we'd played for a wee while. Trapanovsky looked on it, and him and Will Ferry were linking up very well going down that side. But yeah, like bizarrely, it did take an effort for Big Sam Cleelhaben to almost open the scoring. So for the majority of the first half, I thought we were pretty comfortable and arguably the best team.
Yeah, and I thought that obviously the boy pass that we've mentioned, he was booked early on. Will Ferry skinned him and booking. And then I think the boy Salinger's the keeper, isn't he? He makes a really good save for there. But again, Sarpsford, we spoke about it last week. You're a great chance. You're another good chance there when I think it's the corner for Ferry. He's 4 years out. He's got to at least hit the target there.
You've got to score, Rondo. Got to score, in my opinion. He doesn't. Is he maybe out of form? Is he maybe playing me a knock because we got told that he was on the bench the other week because he was injured or he was coming back for an injury? Yeah, you're wanting him to do better there, aren't you? Far better than he did.
And then they go and score.
They do, and it felt like it was against their on a play. Like I know the boy that they got in on loan for Tottenham. He was looking dangerous at times, but in general, I thought we were. He was a handful, yeah, but I thought that we were managing it. And it was Boyle that he's cut in and he's bought a ticket, and if you didn't buy a ticket, you didn't win the fucking pride. And fortunate for him, Sam's been really unlucky in trying to block it because it's probably going straight for the keeper. Takes that wicked deflection and it goes into the net. And kind of was sitting shaking my head thinking, this is just what happens when teams are out of form, out of luck. This is the sort of breaks that you get, and it's absolutely shite. Didn't think that we deserved to be a goal down, but we were.
Yeah, Test, doesn't it? Ever since I've praised him, he's not done very well.
So I was doing my thing. Like he gave the ball away so needlessly in the first place, and we never recovered for that. Now, obviously, it was less than about 8 seconds for he gave the ball away, but it's just so careless. It's so careless, and that's why I mentioned him in the same breath, as Richard O'Dada, because O'Dada felt like he wanted all the time in the world. Keristes, who I think has a lot of tools to be a really good central defender, he's just so fucking lax. He's just so laid back, and it hinders him. Like Gordon Petric was laid back, but he was classed. Like he rose above everybody else. It was natural. He just oozed loads of ability and class. Keristes, when it looks for the outside looking in that he's switched off, that's when fucking mistakes happen. Like he doesn't pick up men, or he gives away floppy passes, and then we'll get hit on the break. And unfortunately, as I say, in this instance, it caused a goal, and we were 1-0 down when we really didn't deserve to be.
Yeah, and again, it's not a United thing, but it feels like it. But up to that point, or as the half-time whistle goes, we're 1-0 down, and again, the goalie's had a shot right at him and picked the ball out of the net. It's like, how's your luck, Ken? How is your luck?
No, that's it. Like out of form, out of luck. But again, we didn't help ourselves. Like we've got the ball, we get it away. We never get it back. The boy that's a shot. It's going straight for the keeper. Sam tries to do what a good defender should do, block it for even getting near his keeper, and it's just hit the fucking side of his head and it's went in. And how is your luck? Out. And that's how it is.
And it was a right kick in the stones going into half time as well, given the first half, because I actually thought we were the better team.
Yeah, so did I. So I wasn't as despondent and crestfallen as usual when we're going at half time trailing, because I still thought we've been the better team here. So if we can keep this up, there's a real opportunity, because that was as poor a Hibs team as I've seen for a wee while as well, probably because of all the absences that they had in their lineup. So it felt like there was every chance for us to still get something for that game at half time, regardless of that setback just before half time.
Yeah, and I thought we started the second half really well again. Trapanovsky really positive, was doing the good things of Trapanovsky that we like to see. I mean, I gave a right back a torrid time. Took him right. We all know what Trapanovsky wants to get on his right foot and get the ban or take a shot, and I get that. But he was managing to deliver again and again and again and again into Sapsford, and sticks it wide again when I get 6 weeks ago. he at least probably gets on target or whatever. Like you say, when
Yeah.
you're out of form, out of luck, you've got none.
Yeah, and that's what we are in the midst of just now. But as you say, like you've got to kind of hitch the wagon to the positives that we saw in Trapanovsky. He definitely seemed like he was in the mood, and a Trapanovsky that's in the mood and making decent decisions is definitely a weapon to have in your team. It's been too few and far between for my liking, but certainly on Wednesday night he was causing that boy all sorts of problems, and that was kind of our main area of attack.
How does Martin Boyle hit the bar for about 2 years out?
He's probably got too much Brill cream on that fake hair of his, and it's maybe, I don't know, if it's hurt his neck or his head's went too far back with the weight of it. But yeah, he should bury that. He should bury that. We get lucky in that instance. Very lucky.
Yeah, and that was a bit of a let off. But again, for other sort of half chances they had, I still thought we're a better team here. Like we can, a sucker punch could have arrived, but my God, it went the other way thorough, and it was you're 1-0 down, but 15 minutes for time. Great corner for Trapanovsky. It's a wee bit of carnage. I don't care if Ross Graham hits it, if it hits him. Ultimately, it ends up in the net and it's 1-1.
Yeah, and I thought it was deserved. I thought it was merited. Why Ross Graham was in that position in the first place, I'm not sure. That's probably where you would imagine your striker would be, hanging about there. But ultimately, it didn't really matter. I think from their point of view, like it's poor defending. But from your point of view, we've seized upon that poor defending, and we've made the absolute most of it by putting the ball in the roof of the net.
You did a bit of ticket, you'll know when the raffle.
Correct. That should be our go-to at the live shows. That should be the line that we put above the raffle table.
Indeed. And then Trapanovsky, another great cross.
Mm. Yeah.
Carnage,
and,
keeper, defender, ultimately, again, binds up in the pokey. Happy days.
Yeah, of course. And I'm not even sure how it gets in. Like, obviously, Waters gets on the end, or it heads it down. I don't care if it's the defender that hits after the keeper or whatever, but as you say, ultimately it ends up in the net. And at that point, Rondo, I thought I have just witnessed us in real time turn the corner here. Like, we have played through our poor luck, our poor form. We've been pretty good most of the night. We've now got a 2-1 lead going into the dying embers of the game. What the fuck could possibly go wrong? At that point, I was relatively delighted.
I'll tell you what went wrong. A boy Obita went off and the cowboy card come on.
Yeah, he's and that was another miss for the Hibs. It was a relatively poor Hibs team on the night, and that's why, fast forward into what we're going to want to speak about for the next 5 minutes, it's so disappointing that we got nothing fair. But yes, Carden comes on, and we all know, everybody in Scottish football knows, he's got a great delivery on him. So what we should do then, Rondo, let's not give him the opportunity to put a delivery into the box. Let's just not do that, and then we could cope with pretty much anything else that they're throwing at with.
It's a corner, isn't it? The first, their second goal's a corner. Their equaliser is a corner, isn't it?
No, it was a foul. So it was Will Ferry fouls the boy.
It's never a foul.
I thought the boy bought it. I thought the boy bought it personally. Yeah, you could argue the merits of that, but ultimately they've got a free kick, so we just had to defend it. I made that sound awfully easy there. We made it look damn near impossible. But you just got to defend a free kick, and you can. It's going to come in. You just need somebody to be brave, to be a bit of a leader, to go and meet the bar at its highest point. Whether it be the keeper or whether it's a defender, it doesn't really matter. That's what we, as United fans, were hoping for in that moment. Yeah. The bar comes over, and I don't care what the keeper was doing. He almost sat down. I don't care what he was doing. The ball goes over Abdi. Sam tries to clear it out. Doesn't get a great connection on it, and it gets fucking bundled over the line.
Does he see it too late, do you think? Just because
possibly,
it comes through and the keeper and...
I don't know. I'm not sure where to apportion the blame, but what I can say is, first instance, I was saying to go to the keeper, because I think he should be coming and catching that. Or, against everything that I believe about goalkeepers, even punch it, like just get it away. One thing that you didn't want to be doing is didn't fucking get smaller. Like he almost shrunk and he's almost sitting down. Like, why? Is it because the defence and the attack were like on top of him or something? I'm not sure. I've refused to watch highlights, so I've not even seen a background other than watching the game at the time. So I can't really give a considered opinion on it. But in that moment, I thought the keeper should have done the damn sight better. 2-2, absolutely spewing. Couldn't have believed that we found ourselves in that position. And as much as I was going to be happy with a point before the game, at that moment in time, I was fucking raging because we had threw away another 2 points.
Well, I mean, if you were raging at that point, dare I ask how you were 4 minutes later?
I don't know what's worse than raging, but that's what I was. That's what I was. And again, another free kick in a dangerous area. It's, you know what, it's just piss poor game management. I know the boy Cadden can deliver a bar on a sixpence. How the fuck do our players not ken that? The last thing that you should be doing is giving away a foul. The Will Ferry one, you could argue maybe it wasn't a foul, maybe it was. Either way, like they got it, so that's fine. I think it's Dario Namo, it's a clear foul. But it's just stupidity. Didn't foul the boy. You've gave them another chance. But again, as a United fan, I'm wanting my keeper to come out for this, or I'm wanting my defenders to go and deal with it. We all know what then happens. None of that happens. We didn't even fucking mark people, Rondo. 2 Hibs players go to the bar.
This was mine, right? So I probably didn't really, a wee bit like yourself. I saw it in real time and basically turned it off, right? Because I thought, I need to go on the veranda or something here out in this palatial holiday home that I'm in watching this game. And it wasn't until I was in the reports the following day, because I was obviously taking some notes for this, obviously. And there's a still photo someplace that effectively looks like our defence, or our, not even defence, because 5 players, let's just call it the team. It looks like they're zonal marking and no man marking.
Yeah.
How is that? We've went from man marking the whole game, holding on, basically referees going, stop fucking trying to change shirts, swap shirts this early in a game, to being 3 yards after them. And that's not one player, that's a whole row of players. I don't know how that happens.
Neither do I.
I've not watched the replay because I couldn't to see if is it good movement for them because they move it to attack the bar. I've no idea. Also, it's a looping header the boy will no score again, right? I get that. But didn't give them the chance. Didn't give the foul away. Pick up your men. I didn't really think the keeper can do it because of the header, but didn't need to give them the opportunities. Like, we've seen it with one cross. Didn't you see it for a second then? Just unbelievable. I just couldn't believe it. I genuinely couldn't believe it.
No, same. Absolutely the same. Yeah, at the time on the show, you see the goal and you're like, oh, fuck, cannot believe, because that was so late. We weren't getting back into it. So I went for thinking about 2 minutes previous to that, like, we've played really well tonight. We're deserving of this win. To watching my team simply capitulate at the back, like the second goal for Hibs, no great. The winner for Hibs, fuck me, Rondo. What is going on? How does nobody go and attack? How does nobody attack the bar? Not one play. If anything, it's almost like, as you said, I've not watched it back, and I don't know if Hibs were really smart in pulling themselves back for it in order to get the free header. But if that's the case, how does not one player go with him? Like the boy, is it Suzo or Stuto, whatever his name is, he is getting challenged in there by a Hibs boy. There's 2 of them that's going to get on the end of that. It's just the still image of that is absolutely fucking frightening when you see United with a line of 5 men and Hibs with 2 men attacking the bar. And I get it's a looping header and people have criticised the keeper. I kind of side with you in thinking, I just think that I don't think you can blame the keeper for that. I do blame the defence, though. Somebody's got to attack that. Somebody has got to attack that. And it's so easy to say, but it's so true. That probably doesn't happen last season with Declan Gallagher and Kevin Holt. They will smash their granny on the bridge of her fucking nose to get to that bar in the last minute. And we didn't hear anything like that. They were all it was almost like they were told, hold your line. In that situation, you didn't need to hold the line. Go to get the fucking bar. Get rid of it. Like the referee is almost about to blow the final whistle. Just deal with that cross as best you can. You can't tell me that was as best you can for anybody there. None of the defenders in that moment covered themselves in glory. And it was so disappointing. So disappointing. To throw it away, because that's exactly what we did. We threw it away.
I think ultimately, and yet again, it's not trying to be a hard luck story, but that's 3 goals that have got what in doing written on it. Every one of them. For Crestes being too lax to the unfortunate deflection. Like, it's again, when you've no luck, you have absolutely no luck. The second, I think he's bought the free kick, but again, it's
We need to
chaos.
do better.
Like Sam
Yeah.
kind of get enough on it or whatever. And then the third then is just, again, a wee bit of naive getting a foul away when you've seen what this boy can put in the box. Like, and then, like you say, surely the instruction can't be, right, lads, just line up in a five here. Just go zonal. Let's not go man for man. Let's go zonal. Again, if I'm completely wrong and Hibs have worked out much better than I'm thinking, but I can't tap myself to watch the goals back because it was horrendous. And the time. See what happens in the 60th minute. I'm no as probably as angry. I'm still angry, but you're no 92 minutes injury time winner. Oh.
No, and I know why you're saying that, Rondo, because like people are human. You can switch off. You can switch off in games, but there's certain periods of the game where you simply cannot switch off. And I would argue the 93rd minute of the game when the score's 2-2 is a prime moment when you can't afford to switch off. You just can't. You've just got to go to that ball. You've got to want it more than anybody wearing green and white. And not one United player wanted it. Not one of them. They were all on their heels. That was, I don't know what else to say.
United have now given up 18 points for winning positions in the Premiership this season, more than any other side.
Yeah, we are we are the cause of our own downfall a lot of the time as well. Like you could probably go through the games and pick through all the goals, and you would probably find that the majority of the goals we have fucking caused.
Jim Goodwin came out, defended. Said the defending was pathetic. Questioned the mentality. I suppose it could be is it a mentality thing? Is it embarrassing? Is it pathetic? Or yeah.
The defending for the third goal is embarrassing. Yeah, I would say so. Like, why is it not within even one defender? Even if it had it, I don't know. I didn't expect Will Ferry to go and win that bar, but I expect Keristes, Ross Graham, or Big Sam to challenge. Yeah, but nobody challenged. Nobody, nothing. I didn't understand it. Like, and obviously, like we've speculated the last 10 minutes saying that can't have been the plan. And the fact that Goodwin came out after the game so angry, like that's probably the angriest I've ever seen him in a post-match interview, regardless of performances that may have been equally as bad over his time at the club. He was absolutely raging, and I took for that clearly wasn't the plan. But that's when you need. And people, this word leadership has been thrown about for a good few weeks now. That's when you need a leader on the park, Rondo. You need somebody to say, right, boys, regardless, like this ball is going to come into the box, clearly, because it's a fucking free kick on the sideline. We have got to make sure, bare minimum, they didn't get a free header. Like, get touch tight, do whatever we've got to do so that the ball goes the other way as opposed to comes near our goal. And everybody has just fucking held a line. And it makes no sense to me why that happened. It makes no sense. And it's no wonder that the manager was absolutely furious with that. Because most United fans, I would imagine, if not all, were absolutely furious at watching it.
Yeah. It wasn't quite Mixu-esque at Celtic Park when he lost the tatty when we got pumped. But it was it's the most angry he's been post-match. Certainly when it's no involved a referee or a decision when he's had to bite his tongue, but to actually for the players, and I think we all know this can go one of two ways, and yesterday would have been the time to see how it reacted. But you can't tell me, even for a player that's no involved, even for a player sitting on the bench or a player that's at the back post doing their job, they've got to have felt, fucking hell, lads, like, what we doing? Like, everyone is, I mean, I get it, team game, throw under bus. Did he throw the players under the bus? Let's be honest. They didn't come out for any post-match for quite a while at Easter Road. I think that tells you everything you need to ken, right? Whether there was purses getting punched, boots getting thrown, bars getting kicked, I don't ken. But there has to have been the choicest of words in that dressing room. There just has to be. Has to have been.
I would imagine so. There would have been a lot of colourful language in that room. And as much as I didn't particularly think that Goodwin should be sticking with his defensive formation, like whether it's 3, whether it's 5 at the back, I don't think it's working, Rondo. But see, in that moment, it doesn't fucking matter what you're playing at the back. You're defending a set piece. So it shouldn't matter if there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, fucking 10 at the back. It shouldn't matter. You've just got to get on the end of that ball. You've got to want it more than the opposition. And not one person wanted it. Not one. How does that happen?
And even, like you're saying, even if it finished at 2-2, again, you'd have been annoyed because of how well we played.
You'd have been disappointed because it would have felt like we've thrown 2 points away again, rather than that's a good point, which I was personally of the opinion pre-match. Yeah. It would have been a good point. But we were, in my opinion, I thought we were the better team on the night. But ultimately, we come away with nothing. And we've conceded. That's 6 goals we've conceded to Hibs in Edinburgh this year. What the fuck are we doing? Hibs aren't that good.
And how many of them have we been involved in? 5?
Yeah,
probably
too many. You could argue the penalty was unfortunate when Vichko got sent off like that. That's about the only one that's unfortunate. The other ones, Kucherenko's punched it in his net, and I think there was a slack pass back where you could maybe say somebody was. I think Vichko thought was fouled, but if he wasn't, then he's fucking about with the ball outside his box. So yeah, we've probably been responsible for 5 of these 6.
For obviously ultimately it's not the manager that's in that back 5 to go and header that ball at the 3rd goal, or no give away a very easy foul for the Hibs boy to Macamilo and stuff. Ultimately, it's him it's going to land on. It's him the pressure's going to build on. For everything.
Yeah, and there is pressure on Goodwin. There's no doubt about it, and for good reason, because all season, and I'm not just speaking about this 3rd Hibs goal, but all season, as I said, I didn't particularly think that he has cemented the position or the formation, that we are good at in defence. Clearly, he hasn't, because we're still conceding shite goals on a damn near weekly basis. That 3rd goal at Hibs, that's different. That's one set piece that you're defending. You should be able to do better there. But I can understand the football's not a great watch. Our defending has been pretty poor most of the season. We're not creating that much. We didn't score that many goals, really. The 2 that we got through the week in Edinburgh were scrappy, to say the least. But you could spin that and say, well, it's 2 good deliveries that we've put into the box.
Well, the thing I was going to say there, it was actually nice for us to be good for a set piece. Again, they were scrappy in the end, but again, we've not been like that for a while either. But
no, like you're saying, and you take it.
Yeah, I mean, we're 18 points, right? And you look at them. So we've led against Falkirk, Hearts, Hibs, Rangers, Aberdeen, and again, Hibs we've led 3 times. Rangers we've led twice. It's unbelievable. We've conceded 7 over 40 Premiership goals in the last 5 minutes of games. The last 5 minutes of games.
And that's
20% of your fucking goals.
That's a pattern, Rondo. So that should be getting addressed. Why is that happening? Why are people switching off?
Is it tiredness? Oh. Is it a mental block? What is it?
Critics of Goodwin will say it's because we tend to sit back when we're holding on to a lead. And that might be the case. Now, whether or not that comes from the manager or it's just a natural thing for the players thinking, right, okay, we've only got a goal lead here, let's hold on to it, and you naturally sit back. It's possibly to do with that. If you invite pressure on, every now and again, it's going to be breached. The only game that I could say that it's maybe a bit unlucky is the Rangers won it at Tannadice, when you could argue that penalty all fucking day. It's so soft, and people will say, well, a soft penalty is still a penalty, but I'm not convinced. That's about the only one, because that was basically the last kick of the match that we lost the 2 points. For going for the win to the draw. That was the last kick of the match. But the rest of them, we've kind of caused ourselves. We really have. And that's why the pressure is on the manager. Because
the same as like
he's just not getting the results. 5 wins out of 24, 25 league games, whatever it is? That's not really good enough, Rondo.
Yeah, we're at 5 out of 24, 10 draws, 9 defeats. No, the point I was just going to make there was it's there's obviously that, and the third goal is horrific. It was the icing on the cake, really, a really shitey cake, by the way, filled with shit and mud and other stuff. But individual errors, like how many times? I mean, I'm sick fed, and I'm sick fed up myself saying it, but it's the amount of times we're involved in conceding a goal. And how many times have I said this again? I'm repeating myself now because I'm getting annoyed. Just go and score a 30-yard screamer, eh? Somebody just go and put it in the tap bin for 30 yards. But it's no. Christus just gives the ball away.
Yeah, but teams are taking 30-yard shots against us because it's easy enough to get a lot closer to the fucking goal because we just didn't defend very well.
Yeah.
So they didn't hate us stress about hitting a long ranger.
And it's like, again, Hearts at the start of the season, header near the end of the game, Ken. Because again, I mean, I wouldn't look it back, but I'd be amazed if our defending's any different. Because does Finlay no run in to that?
Yeah, he runs in and it's a Devon header for a corner. Yeah, it's just shite, Rondo. It's just shite. People wanting it more. That's a lot of the time. You can have the best setup, the best fucking players, but if you've not got the desire to want to get to that ball ahead of your opponent, then you're going to concede goals in these moments. And that's exactly what we've done all season.
Yeah. And ultimately, it's going to be, it gets pointed at him. The players, I get, we'll talk about, but it's not the players that'll get, that can.
No, because you can't. No, of course. And there's a lot of people, certainly online, and I know that it's hard to read all that much into that, but it's getting louder and louder, and it's becoming more and more that they're against the manager. Now, I think that he's working with one hand tied behind his back for what I can see in relation to like budgets and whatever. We've heard rumours the last couple of years that the budget's been quite low, considering myself anyway. I'd be thinking United are the sixth biggest team in the country, which I still believe they are, but I don't know if the budget's there. You could see budgets have been cut all over the place. Like we're now bringing in, on the face of it, cheaper foreign players. We just are absolutely, on the face of it, neglecting the Scottish market, neglecting pretty much any Scottish player because they're going to be too much for us. So, like, it's got to be budget related. And then you can look at the pitch. The pitch clearly has, there's something going on with that. And that's got to be monetary as well, in my opinion. Like, it's underfunded, or we've not got the right guy in charge of doing that. I don't know what it is. But the result speaks for itself. Regardless of all this rainfall, the pitch is an absolute abomination for one reason or another. And as much as Goodwin's getting it now, fingers are also getting pointed above Goodwin. Fingers are getting pointed at the chairman and the CEO. That's just natural, because that's the way football works. When teams are not playing well and you're not getting results, people are not happy. And United have brought in like record season ticket sales the last couple of years. And on the face of it, it looks like the budget is still no what we would all expect it to be. And that's why we are shopping in these markets that we are shopping in. And some of the players have been good, but over the course of the season, we have found out that at the start of the season, certainly myself, and I don't know kind of you were of the same opinion, but it looks like most of these players that got brought in were an upgrade. Like, this is a good player. Like, it's a pity that we've only got him on loan. Like, I hope that we sign him. Christ almighty, like how the tables turned on that opinion, because there's hardly any of them now that you could look at and think, he's a really good player. Thank Christ we got him. It's worrying. It's worrying. There's fingers of blame getting pointed all over the place at Tannadice just now, and it's no happy place, I wouldn't imagine.
Yeah, I'm not speaking for MD here, but I certainly don't. I don't think the manager's job would be under threat. but you just never know. Had yesterday went ahead and it go the way we didn't want it to go, result-wise. That would be that'd be, it wouldn't be good. Again, 37 fans there, maybe wouldn't have held empty, but it's, and that's a real interesting way to be. I think that when you look at some of the teams of late, again, when you go back to the players that were brought in the summer, like even go and look at the starting lineup on Wednesday there, right? The new goalie's in, I get that. Crestes is in the midfield. Dario Namo's in, but look at the rest of and Moller. The rest of in Sapsford, that's half, right? That's 5 players. But there was about 15 brought in. Who's the rest of them? Yovo sitting on the bench, Essling sitting on the bench, Dolchek no seen, Eskison on the bench. Again, be a surprise if he's still here in the next couple of weeks. Waters is on the bench. Obviously Fatah and Kamara out, suspended and whatever. I still think you look at the game the other week when we ended up with a back 4. I think Namo was the only in the, because was that when Dave Richards, I think, was playing in that game, was he not? Can't imagine.
The back 4,
anyway.
we went to a back 4 against Hibs, but we were doing it 10 men.
Yeah, so we were. So again, for other players like, again, they're no to go and then look at, we brought in 3 centre halves and 2 of them are sitting on the bench. Okay? Listen, for Ross Graham and Sam Kilharden to be in there, for being come through United's academy, I think certainly Sam has deserved this shot. Ross Graham was out injured a long time, but to go for where we were at the start of the season, that was your back 3. Ross was out injured and Sam wasn't getting a sniff. So it comes down to the recruitment. I think at the start of the season they did look good. They all shown up in different ways. We were purring slightly, Paul, over how composed Esselink was on the bar. And it wasn't until Celtic fucking reamed him. He never turned up again. Yovo had didn't mind, but he loves being attracted to a yellow card. Ken? But I was praising Crestes. He went through 3 or 4 games, brilliant. He's fell off a cliff since he done that.
he just falls asleep in moments. He falls asleep in moments. He does things that are excellent for a defender, and then he'll undo all the good work by switching off, getting the ball away, no picking up somebody at the back post, and then your team concedes a goal. The recruitment, when you look at it today, we all view it massively differently from if we were looking at it at the end of August. At the end of August, we thought we had done incredibly well. We had struck the jackpot because we started the season very well. We had a team of guys that had probably never met each other before. We hit the ground running. We were playing quite well. We got some decent results. Ultimately, we got put out of Europe, but that was penalties. That could have went either way, I suppose. But sitting here now at the start of February, we're just not a good team. And that's painful to say, but that's what it feels like. That's the truth of the matter, as far as I can see it. We're not an exciting team to watch. We're not even boring teams into oblivion and getting a 1-0 win because we struggle to keep a clean sheet, and we didn't really take that many chances because we didn't create that many chances. So yeah, it's a poor state of affairs, I'm afraid.
17 players have came in total. Let's obviously let the January slide because I think that's really unfair to go and say what Ferrugia, Maynard Brewer, and obviously Emmanuel will be like, because again, I think the second goal aside, I think Maynard Brewer showed up pretty well, certainly last week against Hearts, and I think Ferrugia's done okay for what we've seen. But the rest, again, you know, Sapsford, Yovo, Kamara, Kucherenko, Essling, Namo, Eskison, Moller, Papo, Fatah, Crestes, Dolchek, Waters, and obviously Lucas Stevenson back. Obviously, one of them's already away, as we spoke about the other week with Kucherenko going, you know. But, you know, how many of them, if you're to vote now, can A, B, C, or 1, 2, 3 marks out of 10 or whatever, how many would get in the high 7 or Wagisia 7 out of 10 every week? Ken, it's...
Well, Sapsford was. Him and Kamara for the longest time were very good. Kamara's dropped a level, I would say. So is Sapsford, whether or not it's niggles or whatever, I don't know.
Well, Namo's been injured as well, I suppose.
Namo's been up and down, I suppose. I thought he'd done all right the other night, but again, he fucking gives away the free kick for the third. But boys like Eskison, Dolchek, they'll not be here next season. I'm not really sure what's happened. We spoke about it last week, Rondo, and no point going over old ground. I don't know what's happened with Dolchek. I don't know why we brought Eskison in, because he's probably never going to get a chance. Like, he got brought in, he's meant to be a playmaker, blah, blah, blah. We didn't play with a playmaker, so I find that strange. Fatah, he's been outstanding in moments, and he's been frustrating in moments as well. And he'll not be here next season. Stevenson gives you everything. I really like him. He's not going to be here next season. Yeah, it's it's quite depressing for some reason. Like, you could go through it, and it's not the happiest of conversations to have just now when you speak about the team, because there's a lot to be concerned about on and off the park.
Yeah. What does the manager do next?
Win games. It's as simple and as difficult as that. He's got to win games. Now, we've got Aberdeen up next, and it's probably not going to be easy. Like, they're not a great team, but we're not a great team, Rondo. Like, there's nobody in this league that I feel overly comfortable about saying, well, like, we should beat them. Livingston are always fucking difficult. Like, we played very well that night and beat them, but Kilmarnock they beat Aberdeen the other week, and by all accounts, they played quite well first half, certainly against the Rangers, even though they were down to 10 men for the majority of that half. And then they ended up taking a bit of a pump in. But United's record against Kilmarnock's no great either. St Mirren, I can't see us ever outworking them. Like, we have had results against them in the past, but it's not going to be easy when we play them. It's just hard to see. It's just hard to see. But this always happens when your team, and I've said this loads of times over the years we've been doing this, when United go through a particularly piss poor phase of form, you could look at every fixture and you really struggle to see where the next points are going to be. You really do. And that's not because the other teams are outstanding. Hibs weren't outstanding the other night, but even then they got the 3 points against us. So next up, if the pitch holds up, which I will kind of be amazed at, is Aberdeen on Wednesday. And who knows what we're going to get. People just need to roll the sleeves up. And when it comes to defending, it needs to start from the front. Like, but that's like manager speak, isn't it? I would defend from the front with close people doing, right, okay, I get that.
Low block.
See when there's a fucking set piece though, Rondo, you're not defending from the front, you're just defending. It should be no more difficult than that. Make sure you want it more than they want it. That's it. Find your man, stick to your man, and fucking win the bar. It should be as simple as that. The one thing that we didn't do is what we did at Easter Road for that third goal. We can't be holding a defensive line that makes no sense, and we're giving the boy about 3-4 yards of space to get up and get a header. So he's just got to win games, in short.
Need a 4-2-3-1. That's what we need. There we go.
The defence needs to change, but I'm not convinced he will. And that's one of the reasons why there's pressure on the manager from a lot of the fans, because I don't want to say we all see it, but a lot of fans are really frustrated with the defence. And the one thing that he hasn't tried, if he goes to a 4 and we're still shite at the back, then you're like that, right? Okay, why is this happening? Why are you not able to coach these guys to defend? Defending should be one of the easiest things to do, according to a lot of people in the game. You're just stopping somebody. Like, creating's a wee bit difficult because you've got to have a creative player, you've got to have players with a level of skill that are able to do that. But in general, stopping somebody from doing something should theoretically be easier than the boy trying to do something and skin players and whatever. So if he goes to a 4 and that doesn't work, then shut the gates. But in the interim, I would be very much of the opinion that you are. We've got to go 4 at the back, but I do not see that happening. I just can't see it happening now, because he'd be almost admitting that he's been wrong.
Yeah, again, it's one of them that I still think we need an extra man in the midfield to just, again, at times the midfield, Hibs would have an extra man in there during the week, but I thought, again, we coped with it pretty well. I thought, again, defensively was sound for the majority of the game, but ultimately the last 5-10 minutes kill you. You lose the game. You're sitting 24 games played, 25 points. St Mirren 2 points behind you. Dundee 2 points behind you. Kilmarnock have played a game more, but are 8 points behind you, that are getting a bit of momentum going. Livy, I think, are done. I think we all think that, but I fucking wouldn't like to be pulled in that dogfight in 11th.
Nope, absolutely not. But as we sit here today, I can't rule it out. And in the fullness of time, at the end of the season, if we finish 7th or 8th and 10 points ahead of 11th, then yeah, I could look back and think, I can't believe I thought we were going to get dragged into that. But right now, the way it feels, I absolutely would not be surprised to see us getting dragged into that 11th spot. I really wouldn't.
I mean, consistency has obviously been the thing, because it's been up and down more than your dollars, but you know, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games, including that Simmern one, to be rearranged to the split. You know, you've got 5 of them at home. But ultimately, take the cup out it. And that's not because I'm not interested in the cup, but I'm just focused on the league here for where we are. You know, we've been beat 4 games, 2026. Okay, I would beat Ayr, right, fine. Should beat Spartans, should. To say, well, should. But we've lost 1-0 to Dundee, 4-0 to Celtic, 3-0 to Hearts. Again, Hearts game we've discussed. And then we absolutely shoot ourselves in the foot
Both feet.
on both feet on Wednesday. Maybe defenders' bits were glued to the grass. Who knows? But that's no great reading. If you'd won, if you'd picked up a win and a draw there and 4 more points, we're no sitting going, I'm worried about 11th. I'd be going, I could be struggling for top 6. Top 6!
Gone. Yeah,
Okay.
that was gone weeks ago, Rondo. That was gone weeks ago. I never believed that. Yeah, I didn't believe it, but it's basically cemented now that we're going to be bottom 6. We're closer to 11th than we are to 6th. Yeah, that's what happens when you're not a good team and you're not playing very well.
Yeah. We'll touch on the games coming up, obviously. There's Aberdeen and Falkirk to speak about, but you're talking Aberdeen, Falkirk, Kilmarnock, Motherwell, your pals, Dundee, Celtic, Rangers, Livingston before the split. It's longer than a few weeks, but certainly looking just even at February alone, season defining, hate that phrase, but for the team, the players, the manager, the club, massive.
Yeah, and it's not going to be easy. Like we've found ourselves in this position because of the way that we've been playing over a number of months. This hasn't just happened overnight. We have not been a good team for a long time. Even the other night when we've played well, we still managed to find a way to lose that game. That needs to be addressed. It needs to be addressed pretty damn soon, because as we've just spoke about, worst case scenario, you get dragged into 11th place. I would be amazed if we were to finish dead last, because I just think Livingston are gonna be a lot of other teams' favourite team this year, because they're going to fucking save them, because they are so far behind everybody else. But 11th place right now, as we're speaking about this, it doesn't seem beyond the realms of possibility that we could, if we cannot address this situation, we could easily slip down the table. But we're not gonna be climbing up at any time soon. It doesn't feel like that's going to happen. And even if we did, 7th's about the best that we're going to be able to achieve, I would say. So yeah, it's a big month. It's a big run of games. None of them going to be easy. Spartans have got none to lose. I still expect to beat them. Aberdeen, not sure what to expect with that. But then Falkirk away, Christ almighty, they're flying. Kilmarnock, fucking bogey team. And then Motherwell on a par with Barcelona 2009. It's a difficult month.
People have bookmarked your video, your wee clip as well to the end of the season. I'm Motherwell fans, so
excellent.
Excellent. Anomaly.
But it will be like what they want to do is look at it again next season. Like I expect Motherwell have got a great chance to win the cup. If they're still in the cup, because they've got Aberdeen, they've got as good a chance as anybody of winning the cup. But next season, they'll fall back into the pack. It's just the way it's going to be. Sorry, Motherwell fans. I know you watch.
Good, bad and ugly?
Good, bad and ugly this week, Rondo. My goodness. So the good. We're in the quarter-final draw for the Scottish Cup. The bad is the weather. I'm absolutely sick of it. And the ugly, we've spoken about it at length, but United's defending last Wednesday, and for the majority of the season, has been utterly tragic.
Do you think Wednesday's game will be on?
No. But I understand that they can't call it off too soon, because people, when we were seeing pictures of the pitch yesterday, on the morning of the Spartans postponement, people were like, "Be it all just calling off the Aberdeen game as well," and that was kind of my feeling as well, because the pitch is really poor. And when you look at the weather forecast, although as I say that, the weather was meant to be absolutely howling today, and it's not quite beautiful sunshine out there, Rondo, but it's no raining, and it looks not too bad in comparison. But if that rain does keep up Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, there's no danger that game will be on. So now that I've said that, game on.
Aberdeen have lost 6 out of their last 8, 1 win and 1 draw in there as well. So 1-1 draw right now.
Who knows, Who knows? We shouldn't be fearful of them. But they'll absolutely not be fearful of us. They'll be seeing a lot of things that they can expose when it comes to United. So hopefully that we can look at their performances as well and see things. But we're going to be missing Amar Fatah. We're going to be missing Kamara. Hopefully the boy Emmanuel's in the country at the time, but whether or not he gets thrown straight in, that remains to be seen. But we just have to defend better, Rondo. Like, first and foremost, just defend better, and then try and get something moving forward as well. Trapanovsky, he's probably going to keep his place in the team, I would imagine. Be amazed if he's not in the starting lineup. And I hope that we'll get the Trapanovsky that we saw at Easter Road rather than the Trapanovsky that we see on too many other occasions, because the end that looks like he's got a bit between his teeth and he's willing to take a boy on. That's what we need. We need that for the first whistle, and then hopefully good things can happen for that.
Buy me a coffee this week.
Buy me a coffee. So Scott Hutchison bought 2 coffees. It's Wednesday. By the time you do your podcast, we are either in the quarterfinals. We are in the quarterfinals, Scott. Or managerless. Come on now. Or maybe both if we got humped at Easter Road tonight. Keep up the good work, and here's 2 coffee, lads. Thank you. Thank you very much, Scott. Well, hey, we've no touched on the Scottish Cup draw, Rondo. Who you want? Who you want in the quarters?
I just want to get through it. I think I'll be in it. Well, be in it.
I'm wanting Stenhousemuir at Tannadice.
It's going to be in
You've
it.
got Dunfermline, you've got Partick, you've got Celtic, you've likely got the Rangers, you've got Motherwell or Aberdeen, you've got St Mirren.
It's a Mirren are through, obviously. Stenhousemuir Falkirk is at 7:30 the night.
And the draws after that game.
The Rangers are 1-0 up on Queen's Park, and we're playing on Tuesday 17th. Aberdeen play Motherwell on the 18th for I don't even care, actually. Dunfermline, a him maybe.
Yeah, it's got to be a him. The only thing with this, like, I don't know how many tickets were sold for the Spartans game, but probably not many. But see if the draw's made tonight, and then it's fucking the winner of United Spartans away at Ibrox or away at Celtic. People will quickly lose interest in that Spartans game, I would imagine. But I've got my ticket, but I think you're not going to get many more people buying tickets if they think, well, even if we get past them, we're probably going to get pumped in the quarters. So I'm hoping for a favourable tie. Say? It'll be after the Falkirk game when Stenhousemuir pumped them out.
It's not even worth thinking about, to be honest. Not even worth thinking about. No, you know what? I'm just not thinking about it. I'm not thinking about it. Anyway.
Yeah.
It's not a wall of kits, it's more wearer of kits this week. You have decided to adorn a Pony-made, Rover-sponsored pinstripe top. Tell us about it for those watching on YouTube right now. You are now stood up. I'm stood up, Rondo. Yeah, it's a pall of kits this week. So it is the 94-95 season. And who do you think when you see this? And if you get the wrong answer, I will slate you. 2 players. Come on, 2 players. Gordon Perrich, Craig Brewster, Billy McKinlay. Random. How could the answer that come out your mouth no have been Andy McLaren and Robbie Winters? Come on. Because it's just no. But it's a nice strip. This, as I was saying to you before we started recording, this is a large. So back in the day, a large would have fitted me. These days, I had to go double XL to get into a football strip.
But it's a nice kit. I do quite like it. I'm sitting down again. You can't really see it, but it's probably one that wasn't one of my favourites at the time. And I didn't even get this strip. I think I got this for my late uncle Dougie. So yeah, it's a quite nice strip. I'm a big fan of it these days. Maybe because it's retro. This would absolutely drown Julius Eskison.
I think it's in good nick for being 30-year-old.
Yes. We'll look after things at this end.
Well looked after. So you go. There's your poll of kits for this week. Let's see what funny dishes out next week and can do a wee fashion show for a little bit. It's on YouTube if you would like to see it. Just search for Dode Fox Podcast. It's time for this week's Tannadice Test, Paul. And despite the phone calls and the text messages I've had, most people were shouting at their listening device, at their YouTube, with the answers. So it was uncalled for your talking down of such fun on a weekly basis. How are you over your frustrations?
I'm always frustrated, Rondo. Speaking about United, we'll do that to a man.
Big Lars, man, hero. Round number 1 player profile. Born November 4th, 1974, a 5'11" forward. Signed on January 11th, 1992, who went on to score 42 goals in 149 appearances.
Be a striker. 1992. No idea. I was thinking
Good
Brewster,
start.
but that's a wee bit further ahead.
Okay, good start. It was Robbie Winters.
Robbie Winters. Excellent. 5'11". 5 foot. Did Robbie Winters tell you that himself?
It's
He
Arab
is
Archive told me that.
he is no bigger than 5'2". I've stood next to that man. 5'11".
There's a
Not
wait
sure.
a minute. There's a fucking. We've got a photo. Hold on here. I need to go look at this photo.
What height are you, Rondo?
5'8". He's bigger than me. He's taller
Is he
than me.
bigger than you?
We
Wow.
are in an order. Me, Andy, Robbie, and you, and it goes up in height.
Yeah. Okay.
That is on our
5'11".
social media for RD to see.
Wouldn't have thought that.
He's up to your specs.
I was on my knees.
We'll move on. Round number 2 is higher or lower. Siggy Jonsson made 51 appearances for United, but is Magnus Goldmark's appearances higher or lower?
I would say higher, but no by much.
Number?
What did Siggy make? 51. Goldmark 58.
It's not 58, but it is higher. 72.
Wow, 72. Siggy was done in with injuries, so like his whole career, especially his time at Tannadice, or he would have played a lot more.
And phone calls.
Goldmark. Yes.
Team sheets back this week. United beat St Mirren 2-1 at Tannadice in November of 2017. Mark Durnan and Sam Stanton got the goals, but which players are missing from the team sheet that day? 25, Harry Lewis. 2, Stuart Murdoch. 3, Tam Scobie. 4, Mark Durnan. 8 is blank. 10, Scott Fraser. 11 is blank. 12, Sam Stanton. 16 is blank. 17, Jamie Robson. 28, Matty Smith. Subbies, I'll give you Dennis Memmott, Paul McMullen, Patrick Coy, William Edgingelly, Scott Allardyce, James Keatings, and Fraser 5e. But who are squad numbers 8, 11, and 16?
Willow Flood? Is he one of them?
Willow Flood is number 16.
8 and 11. Back then. James Keatings?
He's on the bench, number 19. Now playing for Her Majesty's Service. 11. United beat St Mirren 2-1 at Tannadice, November 2017. Durnan and Stanton with the goals. Tell your old man was up taps half when he scored.
Probably.
Neither of them are podcast pals.
Billy King.
Number 11, yes.
Billy King. And number 8. Who was number 8? It's got to be a midfielder. What was the midfield that day? Scotty Fraser. Matty Smith, he'd have been a striker.
Harry Lewis, Stuart Murdoch, Tam Scobie, Mark Durnan, Scott Fraser, Sam Stanton, Jamie Robson, Matty Smith.
I think. I'm just going to randomly throw a daft name out. Lewis Toshney. But I don't think it's him. I don't think he was number 8.
It's not. Number 8 was Scott McDonald.
Ah, the Celtic supporting United striker. Yeah. I remember him now.
Yeah, and I've just glanced at United's Instagram, and Emmanuel has touched down in the city of Discovery. He's got his United tab on, so there you go.
We'll be freezing.
Round number 4 also played for Burnley, Cardiff, Rangers, St Mirren.
Burnley, Cardiff, Rangers and St Mirren. Stephen Thompson.
Correct. Shoot you in. I'll tell you this week.
Well,
who am I? I started out at Hutchie Vale before joining the youth setup at Ipswich. My first professional contract was given to me by Gary Boland. It took me 7 years to then sign for United. I stayed for 2 seasons, made 52 appearances, scored 5 goals, and a bit of trivia for you, Paul. United never lost a game that I scored in. In my career, I've won the Scottish 3rd and 2nd Division League titles, a Championship title, and a Challenge Cup. And had it not been called off, you might have seen me at Tannadice this season. Who am I?
Not being called off. So we've had it called off against Spartans and St Mirren. It would be Mark McNulty.
It would not be Mark McNulty. It would be Paul Watson.
And that was my other end. Fuck! Can I ask, so it was Boland that gave him his first contract. Where was that then? That's how I settled on McNulty, because I think he started there as well, did he not? Honestly, stupid game anywhere, Rondo. Stupid game.
Right, anything for our low knees this weekend?
There's some. Miller Thompson at Ross County. Ross County would travel to Glasgow last Tuesday and defeat Queen's Park 1-0, but Miller was an unused sub. Scotty Constable at Airdrie. Scott would start Airdrie's away match at Arbroath on Tuesday, and despite an impressive first 37 minutes, he had to be withdrawn due to picking up a knock. The game would finish 2-2. Scott would get over that knock by Friday night, though, and he was on the bench to begin with as St Mirren made their way to the Potato Stadium, the Albert Bartlett or something, whatever it's called, in the Scottish Cup. After 90 minutes, the tie was locked at 1-1, but Scott got on for extra time and was slap bang in the middle of the park and up against Alex Gogic. He put in a very impressive performance, but his side would lose out 2-1 to a late goal. Charlie Dewar at Alloa, the game was off. Lewis O'Donnell at Cove Rangers. As has been the norm this season, Lewis was again in the starting lineup, and this week he would play 72 minutes before being withdrawn. His Cove side trailed Queen of the South for a long part of the day, but with his last act before being subbed off, Lewis linked up brilliantly with Mitch Megginson in the box to set up the veteran striker for the equaliser. The game would finish 1-1. Harry Welsh at Stirling Albion, Negam, Calvin Beattie at Brechin City. Calvin would get his first start for Brechin as they travelled up to Christie Park to face Huntly, and it would be a victorious one. He played damn near the whole match, only being withdrawn in the 92nd minute, and Brechin won 1-0. Lewis Haldane and Finlay Simpson at Jeanfield Swift. Lewis would again start this one, and Finlay was again on the bench to begin with. Early into the match, Jeanfield had a man advantage as Haddington Athletic were reduced to 10 men, courtesy of a straight red. That didn't mean it was going to be easy for the Swifts, however, but Lewis would keep his second clean sheet in a row, and Finlay got on for the last 30 minutes as Jeanfield kept themselves in the promotion hunt with a 1-0 win. Josh Holt at Lochie United. Connell Shields at Gala Aberdeen Rovers. Gala got pumped 3-0 at home from Cowdenbeath, and Connell would come on in the second half and was apparently very impressive in his time on the park. More of that, please. The academy team. The under-19s were away to Hamilton last Tuesday in a friendly and lost 3-2. Both United's goals were scored by the ever-impressive Jack Anderson. Now, I didn't normally mention the under-15s, but this one is worth mentioning. Last Tuesday, United pumped Cammy Kerr's Dundee side 5-1. Up them. Then on Friday, the under-17s headed up to Aberdeen and came back with a 3-1 win. The goals were scored by Cian Beverley, Luke Clark direct from a corner, and Lorenzo Sassetti with a penalty that he had won. This coming week, the 19s are away to Falkirk on Tuesday night in a friendly, and the under-17s are away to Sunderland for a friendly too. The women's team. After their 10-game unbeaten streak coming to an end a couple of weeks ago, the ladies had the opportunity to start the next winning run last Sunday, as runaway league leaders Killie came to Foundation Park. In short, it was not the start of another unbeaten run, and it was in fact a 5-0 doing that was dished out by the Ayrshire Lassies. This past week there was also an arrival and a departure from the team. Leaving the team was Louise Mason, and joining up on loan was a returning player, Niamh Noble. Today, as we're recording this, the team are at home to St Johnstone.
We're hosting an evening with the men who kissed silver on Friday the 27th of March at Chamber East for the longest 40. We'll be speaking to Craig Brewster, Dave Bowman, Craig Conway and Sean Dillon about two very special days at Hampden in 1994 and 2010. Tickets are on sale now. You can get them at thelongest40.com. So it'll be us, Brewster, Bowman, Conway and Dillon speaking about that. So it should be good fun. Friday, 27th of March, and you can get the tickets at thelongest40.com. On this day, in association with the Arab Archive, preserving the history of Dundee United Football Club, this is 2006, 9th of February is our focus today. 3 games for you this week. For his first league game in charge of United, Jackie McNamara kept faith with the same starting lineup that comfortably defeated Rangers 3-0 at Tannadice in the Scottish Cup the previous weekend. Johnny Russell again scored early, this time in the second minute. Willow Flood then had us 2-0 up. Hearts pulled one back before Michael Gardyne wrapped up all 3 points in 2013. It was Scottish Cup 5th round G in 2014 as Jim Goodwin lined up in the St Mirren starting 11. Ryan Gold had us ahead after 21 minutes before Scotland hero Kenny McLean made it 1-1 in the first half. Podcast pal Nadir Chief G headed home the winner not long in the second half as the Tangerines progressed into the next round. We again took on the Buddies in the Scottish Cup 5th round in 2019, and it would be the same scoreline that afternoon, this time away at St Mirren Park. Safranco and Nicky Clark had us 2 goals up at half-time before Duckin's Nazon pulled one back 30 minutes from time, but Championship United saw out the game to progress through to the next round by knocking out Premiership opposition. No signings today, but I've got 3 birthdays, Paul, and we'll continue with your one-word descriptions. Steve Banks is 54 today.
Lucky.
Derek Lilly is 52.
Effort.
And hitting the big 5-0 mark is Jim Hamilton.
Average.
Fair play. Episode 322 is done and dusted. Will there be a game this week? Who absolutely knows if it will be on or not? And then we head to Falkirk on Saturday. You can find out more at DodeFoxPodcast.com. Follow us on the socials. We're at Dode Fox Podcast. You can like, subscribe, click the notification bell on YouTube, and support the pod. buymeacoffee.com/Dode Fox Podcast. Do have a great week. Stay safe. Don't forget to wash your hands and your arsehole.